Welcome to another presentation by me. This one is what should I name my grandparents? So without further ado, here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. So first, table of contents. So first we're going to define what is a grandparent. Then we're going to look at the methodology. So we'll discuss the names and the process thereof. Then we'll look at the results, where we will discover the magic of what it means to name a grandparent and do some naming. And then finally, we'll look at our conclusions and we'll decide on what the best options for grandparent names really are. Okay, so first, what is a grandparent? So chances are you've never heard of one, but that's okay for now. So what is a grandparent? A grandparent. These are a funny thing. So most of the time they are a person. That person is sometimes in the state of being grand, whether in age or personality, perhaps both. They are normally found near the following: televisions, Walmart clearance baked goods, and church rummage sales. So that's a good basis of how to find a grandparent. So now we're going to move on to part 2, our methodology. Okay, so now that you can define and recognize a grandparent, we'll discuss some names. So, methodology. Research, little to none required. Daily study, hardly necessary. Analysis, doesn't really seem relevant. And comparison, not sure why it's on here. Moving on. Methodology, naming. So first theory, you can just make one up. Theory number 2, you can just ask someone else to make one up. Pretty fluid if you think about it. Not really too much thought needs to go into it. Okay, so methodology, naming, part 2. So one thing worth noting, whatever names you do come up with, you have to make sure not to share them with anyone, because if you do, the following things could occur. So multiple grandparents will respond to the name when you call them in the grocery store. Bad idea. You won't feel nearly as unique. Your grandparent won't feel nearly as unique. Your grandparent will mistake you for their other normal grandchildren. Wouldn't want that happening. You'll have one less inside joke with yourself. That can be pretty devastating. From personal experience, you want to avoid that one. If they become mainstream, they might call you on Oprah. So yeah, avoid. And finally, of course, grandparents who don't like the names might name you in a class action lawsuit. So yeah, just be careful. You don't want to get in trouble with the law over something as, I guess, small as this, but it could very well become big if you let it. Okay, so I put this on here. It's a million because big numbers catch your attention, and I'm gonna need it for what's coming up. So hope I got your attention. Here we go. Okay, so here are the results. Yeah, so list of potential names for your grandparents, not to be shared anywhere. So here we go. Gummy and Gumpy, Crungy and Crumpy, Gitcha and Gitcha Gammy, Pee Pee and Poo Poo, Lala and Loopy, Seesaw and Meemaw, Bubby and Bumpy, Lulu and Lumpy, Drip Drop and Pip Pop, Knapsack and Towel Rack, Whale Jaw and Circle Saw, Oolah and Moolah, Frankenfurter and Frankenfarter, Pippy and Lippy, Thummy and Thumpy, and so many more. Okay, so conclusions. Each name is unique and inimitable. It's very simple to come up with new names. All of the names are going to be equally as good. It's a given. And then Gummy and Gumpy is obviously the best name. So thank you for listening. If you have questions, you can email me. My email is listed, or leave a comment in the video. I think you can do that. Um, yeah, or of course, Venmo me. That's the best way to get a hold of me because I'll see that and I'll actually respond to it as opposed to looking at it and ignoring it because I know you mean business if you Venmo me. Um, yeah, so that concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time.